this Profit Protector Pro video, I'm going to show you how to set up an automation that is based on reacting against certain sellers on a listing, sellers of your choosing. Now, I'll be showing you how to find a merchant ID and how to enter this in to utilize the automation as well, because you might have come across this option and wondered what it's all about. Now, there's a couple of spaces in Profit Protector Pro where you can react against a certain seller. Although if you've seen this on the repricing page, of course, that'll be to ignore a certain seller on there. When you enter in their merchant ID, it will not consider them at all when repricing. So that can be really good for like fine tuning your repricing against competitors. However, in an automation sense, you'll be reacting against them to basically help you out with whatever preconceived scenario you have in your mind. So all you need to do is select if a merchant is present on the listing. Now, so far, this is the only option that will give you the merchant ID field to compete against a specific seller. Now, let me firstly show you how to find the merchant ID. So all you do is head on over to Amazon, and all you do is open up the other sellers, and you can see everyone that's selling this particular listing. Now, you will notice that the seller's name is hyperlinked, so all we need to do is give them a tap, and we can get the ID from here. So we can get it from there in the URL. So it will always begin with A, and it will typically be somewhere there in the URL. So seller equals, and that is their ID. That is basically the only place that you can get it from. If you have Buybot Pro, you'll be able to get their ID from the pop out as well. So let me just show you that quickly. So we'll open that up and tap on store details. So we have the ID here as well. So if you have Buybot Pro, you can get this from here as well. But let's just paste in that merchant ID, and then this has specified which seller we are competing against. So then we just go on to choose an action as we would do with any automation. Now, there's all manner of things that we can do here. So let's come up with a couple of scenarios. So let's go with our first one. Let's say this seller is constantly undercutting us, right? So competing against them is a little bit harder because they are very aggressive with their own repricing strategy, or they just keep wanting to, move down just to try and win that buy box. In that case, we need to respond to that aggressiveness with aggressiveness. So we can switch strategy to, let's say we are on a more relaxed strategy. So we could be on the hybrid profit harvester, but we can switch that up to, say, the super aggressive dominator. Okay, the most aggressive of the Profit Protector Pro strategies, which will undercut the buy box price only slightly to give you that advantage, then scoop it up. However, the difference is where they may want to keep going down and down and down, Profit Protector Pro will bump it up and up and up. Okay, so little by little, it will bump that price up, and they can try and undercut again, but it will just, go right underneath them, scoop it up, bump it up, so they can try and move it down. But Profit Protector Pro will tackle that. That's what it's all about. It will tackle it head on, and it will keep moving it up. Still might be a little bit of a struggle if they're intent on moving down, but Profit Protector Pro will always bump that price up somewhat before, it might need to keep doing that again. It depends if the other seller is able to get hold of the buy box once more, or Amazon just reallocates it or whatever. Okay, so we can switch up our strategy against this specific seller when they are present on the listing, because they could go out of stock. And in that case, then it will revert back to our original strategy. So we can keep doing what it was that we were intending on doing. And if they, say, restock and decide that they're going to want to, fight us again, basically, we can have this automation set, and it will just re-trigger. As soon as they are present on the listing once more, it will re-trigger and switch the strategy to aggressive. So once they're not on the listing, it will revert back to whatever it is that you had previously set. That's the great thing about these automations. It doesn't actually go and make a change to the listing and the repricing page. It will just apply itself and then revert. So let's think of another situation. So let's say we want to just keep matching their price. We can do that, match specified merchant. Now this is an option that we'll only get through using this, because of course we've specified the merchant, so that's like a bonus that you can get. So if you want to keep matching their price whenever they're present on the listing, because maybe they get a good hold over the buy box, and of course you could just straight up use a match buy box strategy. You could do that, but if you want to make sure that you are competing like head on with them, you might just want to match their pricing whenever they're around. Could be an option. We can perhaps go a penny under the specified merchant to give us that slight advantage over them. We could do that whenever they're present. We could also let's see, we can do that as a percentage as well, so it doesn't just have to be. We can be 10% under, whatever it is that you want to do. There's a few different options that we can go with here. We can decrease our minimum price to maybe give us a bit more room, or we can increase it maybe to encourage them to move up in price. The choice is yours. There's all manner of different scenarios that we can think of, but hopefully this has helped unlock some potential there for what it is that you may want to set. And of course, if there's a few different sellers that you want to do certain things against whenever they are present, you can just add another condition. If merchant is present, add another merchant ID, set your action against that seller, so you can really fine-tune the specifics of how Profit Protector Pro will compete if that seller is present. If they happen to, go off the listing and not be present for a while, and they never will be again, you can just come back to the automation, edit it and remove them, and just resave your automation, and it will just take that change into account. So as I say, all manner of different things. You can literally have as many sellers as you'd like in the automation. So again, you can really fine tune it depending on your situation. So using that on top of whatever strategy you have in play will be super effective if you really want to fine tune your competing against certain other sellers on the listing. Hopefully this video was helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you soon.